Alright, so in the previous videos we modeled the roof, we obviously modeled most of the building, and we just modeled the stairs. And so I think the next thing we want to start doing is modeling windows and doors. And so if we look on our project here, the first thing I'm going to probably model is this entry window. We've got 66 by 52. And if we look on our elevations, let's see what that looks like on our elevations. So we've got our 66 by 52, and it looks like it's a line at the top, which I think is nice. I think one of the things that we always try to do is align our windows and doors at the top there. Let's go back to Sketchup here. And so I'm going to hide our entry porch roof there. And so what we really want to do is we actually want to start by editing our first floor walls. And we actually want to create these openings. And so let's go over, or actually let's review where this door location is. So let's go to our floor plans, and I'm gonna maybe model the hole for the door and the hole for the hole for the door and the hole for the window. So it looks like we are 2'1" from the inside of the stud to our center of our door, and our door is 36 inches. So let's go in 5.5 inches, and then let's go 2 feet 1. And so that's our center plane there. And so let's go. So we have 3 feet. So 3 feet divided by 2 is 1.5 feet. So let's go 1.5 feet. And we've got our part here. Let's go up 84 inches, which is 7 feet. And we'll go over our 3 feet and back down. And so that's our doorway. And we can actually just start by extruding this in. And we have our top point here. So let's just draw this top point across. And so our window, this looks a little bit confusing. So we are 4'2", there's a lot of math here, half inch, so we're 3, so we're 4'9", 4'9" plus 3'11", I would say, 4'9" plus 3'11". So 7 foot 10? No, 7'8". 7'8". I'm going to just do mental math for that, but you obviously want to fully figure that out. So 7'8" from our inside of stud. So let's go down here. Let's go 7'8". To there. I think that's where that went. 7 feet 8 inches. So right there. And what do we have going on here? So we have 66 feet wide by 52. So 66 divided by 2 is 33. So we can just type in 33 inches. And we'll have our window somewhere here, and let's go down 52 inches. And we'll go across our 66 inches, and like that. So there we go, we've got our opening there. And I'm just going to hide our floors for a second. And let's hide our walls, our foundation walls. And I just want to eliminate this line there. There we go. And that should be good there. Yeah, so there we go. We've got our window and our door hole there. And so the next thing we want to do is we want to start working through our actual window frame and our window system here. So we have this hole, and we can actually just start by tracing it. And I'm outside my group right now, and so we can just start tracing that. And let's hide our walls here. So let's go to our, and yeah, I got our foundation off. Let's hide our first floor wall. So we have this window. So I think sometimes doing it this way is nice because we can get this into a group here really quickly. Make group. And a few weeks ago we went over kind of modeling the different parts of our window frame. And so if we look at our presentation here, we have these different pieces of our window frame. So we have our trim, we have our kind of mullions in the center, and so we can talk about doing all of that. So maybe what we'll start by doing is we'll offset maybe by 1 inch, and then maybe we'll offset by another inch, and then we can divide this up. So we can divide this up like this. And then here we can offset this by 1/2 inch as well, and do all these different parts by 1/2 inch. And we start to build our window system here. Like so. And then we can use our eraser to kind of erase these parts. And so now with this we have our window. We want certain parts to be in certain places. And so what I may do is we may, let's offset this outer frame by 1 inch. Let's offset this inner one by maybe 1.5 inches. And let's offset these inner pieces by 2 inches. And this just gives our window depth. You can see how we have these different pieces of our frame now, and it just overall makes it more interesting. Typically for a window, especially like this, we would have our inside part as well, and so you could model the inside of this. And one kind of cool technique we can do is with our windows, we want to bring in another face. And so if you look at the bottom here, the control button creates a new starting face. And so if we extrude in and we hit the control button, it just keeps going. And so we can bring this in our 5.5 inches, and we can do the same with all the other parts of the face. And so we could bring this part in. Maybe we'll bring it in. Let's just make sure it's not going. Let's just verify it's not. Okay, there we go. Let's bring this in 4 inches. And really our inside part is actually not as far in. So let's bring this in, and we can hit the control button. Let's go to here. So that's a 1/2 inch. Let's go in 1 inch more. And I'm just kind of making decisions on the fly here. So we've got a little bit of a window. Bring in a new face. Bring this in 2 inches. And then the glass, we can really just leave where it is, or if you want to bring it in a 1/2 inch, you could. And so now that you have all these pieces, I did make this as a group, but we could theoretically make this window as a component as well, and just kind of modify it. So let's do that. So let's make this window a component. We'll call this window, and I might maybe for my purposes, I might call it, maybe I'll just call it W, and I'm going to call it our 66 by 52. And because that's the window size there. And so if we have any other windows of that size, which I don't know if we do or not, we could just copy that window to it. I don't think we do. Let's move to the elevations. 66 by 52. Yeah, I don't think we have that window anywhere else. So that's fine. But, you know, that's a nice way of staying organized with that window. And then inside our component here, we can go in and apply some materials. So before we go too far, it's really almost nice at this point to apply some materials to this. So let's go to glass. Let's add maybe this more dark glass. Maybe that's too dark. So we've got our glass there. And then maybe we'll go to our metals and we'll apply to this. Maybe we'll make this a little bit darker. I can't see that right now, so I'm just going to apply this material. So we can apply these materials and make this window look a little bit more real. So that's what that kind of looks like. So that's our window. Close our component, close our group. We can turn back on some of our layers here. So we can bring back on our walls and our roof. So that's kind of windows. I didn't go over doing the multi-slide door, but maybe I'll see if I can do that in my next class. And that will be, I'll do that in another video, and then we can use the remainder of time today to